My 15-year-old sister cheated on my friend, and I couldn't stay silent. Hi, my name is Andy, I'm 17 years old, and this is the story I never wanted to tell. It all started 2 weeks ago, on October 12th, when I came home from school early because I wasn't feeling well. Instead of an empty house, I saw something that completely changed my perception of reality. In the kitchen, at our dining table, my younger sister Lisa was sitting with Jason, a guy I knew nothing about. They were laughing as if there were no other problems in the world, and then she kissed him. And that was the beginning of my inner catastrophe. You see, Lisa is already dating Mike, a guy I'm friends with too. I never thought she was capable of something like this. I froze in place, not knowing whether to go in there and confront her or just walk away. That was the moment I realized that the world I live in could be even more fake than I imagined. These last 2 weeks have broken me. Everything around me started to irritate me. At school, I felt like I was constantly being followed by gossip and rumors, and at home, I couldn't even look Lisa in the eyes anymore. She acted like nothing had happened, and when I finally asked her what was going on, she just brushed it off. Andy, it's just a game. Everyone does this, but to me, it wasn't a game. It was a blow to the heart, not just because she was betraying Mike. She betrayed me as a brother, as someone I trusted unconditionally. I sit in my room every evening and think, how can you live in a world where even the people closest to you can so easily trample on trust? Where honesty doesn't matter, and love is just a joke. I've never been overly optimistic, but now it seems to me that any attempt to be honest and righteous is pointless. It's a draining feeling. Every new day is a struggle, and what's worse, I don't know if I'll ever be able to trust anyone again after this. Now, I face a choice: tell Mike the truth or leave things as they are. Either way, someone's going to get hurt, and I'm not sure I'm ready to carry that burden. Life truly becomes unbearable when you realize that everyone around you is wearing masks, and there's nothing you can do about it. Reddit user comments, reality_bites, this sounds really tough, bro. There's nothing worse than the feeling of betrayal from someone close. If you can, talk to your sister again. Maybe she doesn't realize the pain she's caused you. Throw away hope. I've been in your place. It sucks. If you don't say anything, you'll feel even worse. Betrayal isn't a game, no matter how much she wants to think it is. Cold_mirror 123, I still don't understand how people can do such things, especially to those they love. Keeping this to yourself is definitely not the answer. If you need to talk, DM me. What am I doing with life, bro? I know this sounds hard, but stay calm. It's her mistake, not yours. Don't let her destroy you from the inside. This whole week, from October 13th to October 20th, felt like hell for me. School became harder. Mike would come into class, unaware of anything, and joke with me about Lisa, while I clenched my fists under the desk, trying not to give myself away. Every time he spoke about her lovingly, it felt like the ground was slipping from under my feet. I couldn't eat or sleep normally anymore. Every conversation with him was like a knife to the heart. His trust in me hurt more than I ever imagined. Things weren't any better at home. Lisa kept acting like everything was fine. She even invited Mike over for dinner on October 18th, and that was a real test for me. She sat next to him, laughing and touching his hand like nothing was wrong. And I sat across from them, silently playing the role of a brother who knew nothing. It felt like a terrible play that I no longer had the strength to watch. Mom, of course, suspected nothing and spent the whole evening praising Lisa for being so responsible and grown up. Every second of that evening pulled me further from reality. I couldn't escape, either physically or emotionally. I didn't know what to do: tell Mike the truth or give Lisa time to fix the situation herself. But the longer I waited, the more it tore me apart inside. I kept thinking, what if the situation were reversed? What if I was the one being betrayed like this? How would I feel? I tried talking to Lisa again. It happened on October 19th, as we were coming back from the store. I told her, you can't do this to him. Mike doesn't deserve this. She just looked at me with that same emotionless smile and replied, "You're just over-dramatizing everything, Andy. It's not a big deal, everyone does this. Mike won't find out unless you ruin everything yourself." Her words felt like a slap in the face. I realized that, to her, this was just a game. I didn't recognize my own sister anymore, the person I grew up with under the same roof, shared secrets with, and made future plans with. How could she change so easily? Maybe this was always her true self, and I just never noticed. Now I'm stuck in a dead end. If I say nothing, Mike will keep living in a lie, and I won't be able to call myself his friend anymore. If I tell him, everything will blow up, ruining not only their relationship but also mine with my sister. And that will hurt Mom, because she always wanted us to be close. Every choice feels like a mistake. I sit in the kitchen in the middle of the night, staring at my phone and scrolling through our childhood photos of me and Lisa. We were so happy back then. Where did I lose her? Where did she lose herself? Reddit user comments, SilentStorm87, "Your story makes me remember when my brother was cheating on his girlfriend, and I stayed silent. It's a heavy burden, and it won't go away, even if you don't say anything, just another human. I know that feeling when you're stuck between two people you care about and don't know who to choose. There's no right path, but your feelings definitely matter." Lost in thoughts. If she doesn't see it as a problem, that's her choice. But you have the right to your own emotions. Sometimes silence is the biggest betrayal of yourself. Bittersweet mistake, bro, that's a messed up situation. You're trapped, but just know, this isn't your fault. You're just trying to do the right thing, and that already means a lot. October 20th. That was the day I finally realized I couldn't keep this going any longer. Everything came crashing down on me at once, Lisa's constant lies, my fear of losing my friendship with Mike, and the hopelessness of not even having a place to relax at home. Every time I saw Lisa, who seemed so calm and carefree, something inside me tore apart. How could she be so cold? Or was I just too weak to separate my emotions from reality? That evening, we were all supposed to gather at a friend's birthday party, a small get-together at our classmate Chris's house. Lisa convinced Mike to come with her as if nothing had happened, but I knew Jason would be there too. The disaster was already playing out in my head. I feared that all their secrets would sooner or later surface right there at the party, and if that happened, I would be stuck in the middle of the explosion. In the evening, around 7:30 p.m., Lisa and I headed to the party. She was impeccably dressed, as if she wasn't just going to a birthday party but to win an Oscar. Mike brought her a bit later, and they looked like the perfect couple until I noticed Jason standing by the bar in the kitchen. He was looking at Lisa like no one else in the room existed. She gave him that same smile she always did, the one that made my lungs tighten with anger and despair. Every minute of that evening turned into torture. Thoughts kept spinning in my head. What if they do something right here, in front of Mike? What am I supposed to do if that happens? How can I stop the inevitable disaster? The climax, the collapse of all masks around 10:15 p.m., everything went downhill. Lisa, thinking no one saw her, whispered something into Jason's ear and followed him into the basement. I saw it, but I couldn't move after them right away. My heart was pounding like never before. I knew this was the last straw. I could no longer be a bystander. I went down after them and caught them standing far too close to each other. Lisa didn't even try to look guilty. She just looked at me with that same smile and said, "Well, are you going to tell?" Her coldness shattered me completely. She wasn't just betraying Mike, she had destroyed my trust in her forever. I walked out of the basement without saying a word. But this time, I knew I couldn't stay silent any longer. Mike deserved the truth, even if it broke him. Even if it broke me. I approached him while he was standing near the exit and simply said, "You need to know what's going on." At that moment, everything around me froze. I told him everything I had seen and knew. His face went completely blank, and he just nodded silently. Then he headed down to the basement without saying a word to me. It all happened so fast that I didn't have time to warn or stop him. A few minutes later, I heard shouting and the sound of glass breaking. I knew it was the beginning of the end. Everything had come to the surface, and there was no turning back now. Reddit user comments, "No way out, bro, you did the right thing. The truth matters, even if it hurts. Stay strong, shatter trust. I know what it's like to be torn between truth and lies. It eats you up inside. You made a brave move, the honest mistake. It feels like you're losing everything when you try to be honest. But it's better than living in a lie." Broken Family 123, I've been betrayed like that before. It changed my life, but I'm glad I knew the truth. It's painful, but you're stronger than you think. October 21st, this day became the point of no return. In the morning, when I woke up, there were already 3 missed calls from Mike and 1 message, "Thanks for the truth." Now I know everything. My heart was pounding so fast it felt like it was about to explode. I didn't know what to expect next. I could only imagine how the previous night had ended for all of us. I hadn't stayed at the party until the end, so I didn't even see how Lisa and Mike finished their conversation in the basement. At home, there was an oppressive silence. Lisa hadn't come out of her room, and Mom, unaware of anything, was making breakfast as usual. I sat in the kitchen, trying to collect my thoughts. I had done what I had to do. But why didn't I feel any relief? Around noon, Lisa's door suddenly flew open, and she stormed into the kitchen with tears in her eyes. She looked at me like I was the enemy. "You ruined everything, Andy. Is this what you wanted? Now he hates me. Do you even realize what you've done?" Her words hurt me deeper than I could have imagined. Doubts began swirling in my head again. Did I really make the right choice? Should I have stayed silent to preserve at least something? She continued, "Do you even know what Mike told me? He said I'm the biggest mistake of his life. He doesn't want to see me." Those words felt like a heavy weight pressing on my chest. It didn't bring the relief I had expected. I knew the truth had a price, but I didn't think it would be this heavy for all of us. Conflict with myself, a path of no return. I spent the entire day walking around the apartment, trying to find answers to the questions that wouldn't let me rest. Lisa was in despair, but her tears no longer stirred any sympathy in me. I couldn't forgive her. She blamed me for everything falling apart, but in reality, she had destroyed her own relationship and our trust. But was I truly ready to live with this decision? And if so, what was I supposed to do next? In the evening, I received another message from Mike. It was brief and to the point. "I'm sorry it turned out this way. But thanks for telling the truth. You're a better friend than I thought." For a moment, it felt like something inside me had fallen into place. But at the same time, it left an emptiness that couldn't be filled by anything. Later that evening, while I was sitting in my room, Lisa quietly knocked on the door. I didn't respond, but she came in anyway. She wasn't crying anymore, her face was just filled with emptiness. She said, "I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive you, but I guess I deserve this." For the first time in all of this, I saw something resembling regret in her eyes. But it wasn't enough to erase everything that had happened. Reddit user comments, "Dark Realist, it's hard to accept, but you made the right choice. The truth always hurts, but it also frees. You gave Mike a chance to avoid even bigger problems down the road." Forever Alone 777, people often get mad at the ones who bring the truth because it's easier to blame someone else than to face their own mistakes. But time will set everything straight. Soul Shatterer, I know what it's like to destroy relationships because of honesty. You'll feel guilty, but eventually, you'll realize you saved someone from even greater pain. Second chance needed. Your sister will probably understand one day that you did the right thing. It's just hard for her to accept it right now. Stay strong, bro, you're not alone in this.